Start singing.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Extra Enthusiasm, where this is the 8th episode of our 6th season. And today's episode of Curb we're going to be talking about is The Rat Dog. Very nice. Season 6, episode 6. This has it's debuted, I don't know why I tell you all this, debuted on October 14th, 2007. Let me do the old IMDb for you. You're welcome very much. A faulty toaster makes life difficult for Loretta and Leon. There's nothing I am more sympathetic to than faulty toaster, faulty toast, anything involving toast, so I am in. Larry repeatedly offends a hearing impaired girl. All right, I'm not into that. About the small dog she keeps with her, or that either. Larry and Leon get their phones mixed up, and Larry traumatizes the entire audience at Sammy's middle school production of Grease when he invites Jeff's exterminator to watch the show. I remember this has, Tim Meadows, and the always welcome Tim Meadows, and Kevin Farley, of course, Chris Farley's brother. I remember him being pretty hilarious. But before we get into it, don't forget this season of XMAS Enthusiasm is brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, hey, we're sorry about last season. Let me tell you fucking people something. I know I bang on and on and on and on about Wegmans pizza. The Wegmans pizza, where I'm at, it's not just good for grocery store pizza. It is like incredible pizza. And I thought the pizza I had before a couple weeks ago or a month or two ago, I was like, all right, this is it. They're not topping this. This is like when I got my first computer in 1995 and my first modem. You know, you had to dial up. This was my introduction to the WWW. And it was a 2400 BPS, baud per second, or BPM maybe, baud per minute modem. I don't have enough time to explain science to you people, so just fucking bear with me. What this meant was it basically took like half an hour to get like a page of text loaded onto your screen. And I sat there going, we're not topping it. This is it for science. Wrap it up, science. Dedicated to Big Mama. Wrap it up, science. Nobody's topping this. And yet this pizza I got today, it's just incredible. It's even better. I do not understand what is happening at this Wegmans with their pizza. I don't understand it. But if we can get a documentary crew up in here or something, we need to break down what makes this so good and how we can get this pizza out to everybody on the planet, because it's crazy. I also had an idea this morning whilst preparing my toilette about how I can lure some interest when it comes to romance into my web. I was taking my shower, and I don't know how loud it is. I can never hear my neighbor, but I started laughing. I was like, why don't after my shower, I just wait half an hour, come back and take another shower, and maybe my neighbor will hear it, and eventually they'll just assume I'm dating someone. So that's what I have cooking right now. I have to make it loud enough for them to notice, so that they start noticing, wow, 2 showers, half an hour apart. There's 2 people here. Hey, this guy's got it going on. You know, they'll be like, we've never seen this person. But what I'm saying is I know what I'm doing. Also, I haven't done anything like this in a while. A buddy of mine just had a little thing to a text group. One of my more musical threads. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you're not a part of it. That's the way life goes. A short playlist of just 7 songs. I'll just take them one by one, what I chose. And this was tough. These all are, the second I say it, I'm going to think, oh, shit, I think. Your favorite song with the name of a state, city, or town in the title. I thought I was going to go with New York City, Steve Earle. And then I was like, duh, California Sun. And I wanted to be Mr., because then we make a Spotify playlist of all of our picks. Look, you guys are getting a peek at how the sausage is made. I wanted to be Mr. Pure and do the Riviera's version. It was the first one that I know of. But I put the Ramones one on there. It's just great, and I wanted to have a Ramones song in there. The song that best represents you, released in the year you were born. I'm going with the Ballad of El Goodo, Big Star. To be honest, I've loved this song and this album for 30 years, 35 years, and it's just now I realize I have no idea how to fucking pronounce the title of this song. I have no idea if I said it correctly, but you know the song. Then favorite song with a color in its title. The first one that popped in my head was Green Eyes, Husker Du, of course, beautiful Grant Hart song. But I went with Thinking Tonight of My Blue Eyes, the Carter Family. It's just such a monumental song, and over everything that came after the last 100 years. It's coming up on 100. Or is it 100 years since, what's his name, Ralph Pierce? Is it Ralph Pierce discovered the Carter Family and Jimmy Rogers in Bristol? I'm going to have to look into that. I mean, I'm not going to do it right now because that would require... number 4, favorite song by a band where a band member dies of a drug overdose. I went with, I assume they mean while the person was in the band. I went with Billy Mercy, of course, the New York Dolls, and I picked Trash for the song because a couple of months ago, I became obsessed. The backups in that song, the haunting, I mean, what I just did there is a little better, so you're going to have to take that into account when you listen to it. And they're incredible. They should be in the Rock and Roll Backups Hall of Fame. Of course, it won't be because it's the New York Dolls. But anyway, Trash. I'm just realized, I think I said there were 7 songs. There's only 6. Hey, deal with it, all right? That's fucking life, people. A song you would play for the moment your casket is carried out of the church. There were only 2 choices. Many Rivers to Cross, which I'd considered for the song that best represents you, released in the year you were born, because the movie The Harder They Come came out in 72, but I wanted to confirm that Many Rivers Across came out in 69, so I couldn't do it there. But at the last minute, it got pushed out for, of course, I've always said my funeral songs of my 4-day service will be Days. Of course, the Kinks, Ray Davies, or Davis, however you say it. And last, my favorite nautically themed song, Friggin' in the Riggin', Sex Pistols. It is what it is. Anyway, all right, let's get into it right now. The Rat Dog, this season, remember last episode, Larry stormed ahead in the rankings in the win column. He's up to 42 and 37 right now. This is the 8th episode of the season, so let's see if he keeps it going. This season, of course, is brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos. Hey, we're sorry about last season. The Rat Dog. Did I say season like 9 times right there in about 8 seconds? Anyway. Okay, right off the bat, I gotta say, classic Leon moment when Larry's talking about, hey, for this job interview, what you're gonna want to do is, as he's asking questions, you start asking him questions, do the old flippity flop, and Leon's like, oh, the topsy-turvy, this motherfucker. Fantastic, iconic scene. I will say, that's great advice. I had my own thing, served me well in the 90s. All I wanted to do, if it was a man interviewing me, if it was a guy, all I wanted to do is get us talking about sports as soon as possible. The quicker you can get some dude talking about sports in a situation, that's how you get a job. I'm just saying that was my thing. So now, if Larry David wants to call me up, and maybe we'll put together some sort of book about even more interview advice, he can feel free to reach out to me. No problem. Okay, Larry gets his first loss of the episode. He goes up to see Cheryl. We find out about this slow toaster as Larry's trying to make toast for Cheryl because she's sick. She has a flu or something. And Larry, unsurprisingly, tries to, I guess his idea, she's already lying down in bed. So he's like, maybe it's not time for romance. Obviously, that's wrong, but it's not unforgivable. You never know. But what he does is just reaches out and starts groping at her. Excuse me. Like, you can try to do a little snuggling, like, hey, little sweet talking or whatever, check the temperature. But he just, both hands, like, straight out. And you can't be doing that. Come on, Larry. You're better than that, I guess. 0-1, Larry David. Come on now. I'll look real quick, just so you know. Larry's meeting up. I think it's at all the kids are doing some production of Grease. It's a shame that while the black kids were living with Larry, he just didn't really, take advantage is the wrong word, but kids are hilarious comedy. Larry David must really not like kids if he wasn't like, man, these kids, I bet, could be hilarious. But anyway, they made up with Tim Meadows and Tim Meadows' wife. Tim Meadows' wife apparently is deaf, and she does sign language. And right out of the gate, Larry's handling this whole sign language thing just about as atrociously as you'd expect, as you're thinking right now. So just wanted to let you know. Okay, now that while they're standing there at the school, now I see there's a bunch of kids around. Larry sees a spider, jumps on it, spider, and he yells. Now he makes too much of a commotion. Kills a spider, and Susie yells at him, you can't kill one of God's creatures or something. And I'm like, I don't want to be cruel, but I don't mind Larry killing a spider. Hey, and you can chalk it up to, what if the spider bit one of these kids? They have Lyme disease or whatever Larry loves. We talked about last time. They all drop dead or something. Maybe he's saving lives. Probably not. But I'm sympathetic to someone who steps on a spider. You know what? I'm going to say this. I'm going to be the bigger man. You ladies know what I'm talking about. Slip into my DMs. I also sympathize with Susie. I like what Susie's saying, too. I'm at the stage in my life where if I see a bug, I kind of don't want to kill it. But a spider, a little different. I sympathize with Susie. I'm going to give Larry the win there. Way to go, LD. 1-1. Now I see he's going to be back to being horrifying with the deaf lady, so great. Oh, and by the way, if I remember in this episode, this whole, like, him shouting out spider and killing it is the Chekhov gun of this episode, and that I'm pretty sure we're going to see it again later, so. But hey, we've made it, 3 minutes in this episode? We haven't encountered the universal law that anytime Larry David walks out of his house, he has to, by law, bump into someone he knows. So we'll see. Anyway, 1-1 Larry. Okay, now Larry steps in it. The deaf lady has a tiny dog, and and he's like, he goes through the trouble of signing to her. It turns out he's calling the dog a rat, and this offends the lady. And Susie's like, fuck you, what are you doing, And yeah, that's a tough one to win. You can't call... Number one, it's not... this is another case where are we supposed to assume that she and Larry have been best friends forever and he can joke like that? And also, like, you're busy mangling sign language, even though you jumped into it, even though it looks like you just heard about it 3 minutes ago. And already... Because now he's claiming it's a joke. So after mangling sign language the first time you see it, and now you're comfortable trying to make jokes with it? Not just jokes, but like insulting jokes. So, sorry, Larry. 1 and 2. What the fuck am I apologizing for? You're the one out there trying to be the Don Rickles of sign language. Okay, now Larry sees Tim Meadows in the bathroom. It doesn't count as the universal law because it was still in the same scene. He's like, hey, look, I think I might have insulted your wife. Little bit. Could you tell her I'm sorry? And Tim Meadows, I gotta be honest, you think you'd be a little cooler here? Like, just be like, all right, whatever, sure. Like, again, it's not like they're BFFs, so just whatever Larry's saying, say, yeah, whatever, and then go home and make fun of him like everybody else. But, of course, Larry says everything wrong possible. But Tim Meadows is like, why don't you apologize to her? Which is a little ridiculous, but then Larry's fighting that, and it's like, well, that is the best case scenario. Here's, with her husband, hey, you know what, I'm sorry, he can work it out. He can make sure she understands and everything, but Larry's fighting it. And Larry as hard as Tim Meadows tried to make it by being a little ridiculous, Larry just insists on winning this one by losing. So 1 and 3, Larry. Oh boy. Okay, I got to give Larry the win here. Larry starts washing his hands, and Tim Meadows notices how he's scrubbing his hands or something. Now, of course, just because it's television, what Larry's doing is ridiculous, but Tim Meadows takes it as like Larry giving him a sign, fuck you, and storms out. And I can't give Larry the loss there. How does Tim Meadows not know it's an accident? Larry the reason he's in there apologized to you because he fucked up when he did try to do sign language. So that's just ridiculous. But anyway, so yeah, 2 and 3 Larry now. Also, he kept going on and on about the dog, like, oh, that little dog, you sit with that dog, it's like, you live in Los Angeles, you've never seen a ridiculously tiny dog or whatever? Your first time in 100 years in Los Angeles? The fuck? This episode dedicated to Riley, by the way. Woof, woof, bulldogs. Okay, now Larry's talking to Jeff about getting his dad a massage, and how many times is Larry David gonna get a massage somehow and not have it be a total disaster? 3-4 times already, these massages. He never just gets a massage and it's normal. So they're like giving each other high fives. So good luck, fellas. Okay, so now Larry gets roped into taking... Cheryl can't go to the performance of Grease tomorrow or whatever because she's sick. Meanwhile, Chris Farley's brother, lurking at Jeff's house. He's like doing the pool or something. He overhears. He's like, I love Grease. I'd love to go. And... normally, my eyes would roll out of my head and like move to another state of the ridiculous of this happening, including how Larry is very obvious, like trying to push the guy away. But Kevin Farley, I remember in this role, I don't remember him being in anything else that I've seen. It was really fantastic. I wonder if he's great in these small, vulnerable, kind of beaten down underdog roles. I could take a minute to look them up online, but I'm too busy trying to please you people. But so anyway, that kicks off the main part of the whole rest of the story. They're gonna Kevin Farley and Larry David are gonna go to Greece together, not the country, or the solid or semi-solid lubricant formed as a dispersion of thickening agents in a liquid lubricant, of course. Which is good because I think the play is definitely going to have better music. Again, I'm overlooking it because there's almost nothing I love in God's Green Earth than Toast. But this whole toaster saga, these day after day of this slow toaster, what are we going to do? Again, I don't know, sell a millionth of one of your fucking shrimp boats and get a new goddamn toaster. Even I can get a toaster in the next 10 fucking minutes. This would be, I'd be flipping my goddamn desk over. I guess I'm at a desk. Things are going well. If it wasn't for my allegiance to toast itself, so I'm gonna calm down. But I did want to point out how stupid it is. But we move on. We live on. Especially with Cheetos. This season's sponsor of Express Your Enthusiasm. Cheetos. Hey, what's sorry about last season? Let's give a shout out to Larry's dad, who apparently made it to age 148 before running into the, oh my God, I think the stripper's in love with me. I'm different. She really likes me. Now, this case is the masseuse, but he's like, I'm in love. She really likes me. I'm sorry. I'm going to do a little PSA out here. There's not a guy out there, or lady, I don't know, I'm coming from a guy's perspective, who hasn't been on a bachelor night or whatever. You go out, everybody gets the stripper or lap dance or whatever, and after everybody's got a couple sherbets in them, so everybody comes back and is doing the old, no, man, it's different. I think she really liked me. No, man, I'm telling you, there was something different, and until everybody discovers that she told each of them a different name. Told this dipshit she's from Detroit, she's from Boston, according to whatever. And what I'm saying, and I've done this myself, so don't act like, but I'm just getting a kick out of this. This is one of the most universal things of all time with men. It's hilarious to see. God bless them. Okay, we're going to get a little flurry here. Larry's in a hurry. He's got to get Loretta to her job interview, but Cheryl's sick and Cheryl wants toast. Larry runs down. Leon's trying to make toast. Larry throws his toast out. Fuck yeah, I got to make my toast, whatever. Larry treats all of that really shitty. He gets a loss for that. But then Leon's upset because he's like, I'm going to have to restart my toast. And Larry's like, no, you can restart toast. Leon says you can't. I do side with Larry on that. You can restart toast. Maybe it's something even to think about. Now, shit. If you cut a nice, healthy slab, a thick slab of rustic bread, and let's say you started toasting it so the outside got seared before the fluffy inside. What if you treated the bread like McDonald's does French fries? You know, they fry them for a bit, then pull them out, and then fry them again. Why don't you try that with toast? If it's a nice thick bread with a fluffier inside, sear that outside, pull it out, give it a second, and then, I don't know, this seems brilliant. I'm writing this down. Hold on. Toast like French fries. If you people don't want to fucking make $1 billion, I cannot help you. Shit. So Larry gets the win for that. But then he comes running up and he's trying to give Cheryl this quote unquote toast, but it's just obviously just bread. It's flopping around. It shows like it's not toast. Larry's trying to insist it's toast. I can appreciate him just trying to get her the fucking toast, bread, whatever, as soon as possible. But again, as a lover, admirer, evangelist, fan of toast, you cannot wave that bread around like that and call it toast. Not to my face. No, sir. Sorry, Larry. You get that loss. So a little flurry of activity there with the toast. Larry comes out of it 3 and 5 for this episode so far. 3 and 5. And by the way, I'm probably going to make $1 billion. Don't forget on this how to make toast better, inspired by McDonald's. McDonald's, hit me up on my DMs. Maybe I'll let you sponsor next year. Ka-ching! Okay, obviously Larry's going to fuck up getting Loretta to the job interview, but Larry can't get her a job somewhere in this town. Isn't he the man? Like, does he ruled television for 10 years. He can't pick up the phone and say, I mean, what I can tell from Loretta, Vivica Fox, she seems incredibly, the power just went out in my building. This is not fantastic. But Larry's gracious enough, I mean, of course, there's Cheryl, to let them into his house, but he can't, like, pick up the phone and get her a job. I mean, I think just little we know of her, I think it would come back and make him look good. So anyway. Oh, I think I missed a Chekhov's gun earlier. Larry and Leon are both like, "Hey, we got the same phones. Isn't that great? Wow!" So of course, Larry just grabbed the wrong phone, and that will come up later, hilariously. But while Loretta and Larry are shopping for a toaster, I do have to say I do have something exciting cooking up. Literally, at some point, I'm going to delve into a little project. I may have changed the face of the game when it comes to both toast and the club sandwich in terms of what order to toast what side and when to not, and when to flip and when to not flip, and when to not toast no side. That's all I'm saying. Time to get excited. It's going to be coming up. Again, make a note. I am literally going to revolutionize everything you ever thought you knew about toast. Not joking. Oh, just like that, I barely get done talking about Antov's gun on this episode, and what do you know? They're standing there shopping for toast, and he turns around, and there's Tim Meadows' wife. Shit, I should get her name. I'm starting to feel like a douche. Hold on, I'm gonna get her name. Hold on, 1 second. She just has to be standing there shopping as well. So of course that, according to the laws of Larry David, he cannot leave his house without bumping into someone he knows. Hold on, I'm gonna keep talking this annoying voice until I get that actress's name. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, the actress's name is Deanne Bray, and the character's name is Jean. Okay. I'm not going to remember either one of those, but I feel like I did the right thing there. Okay. So, long story short, there he spots Jean in the same store, so here we go. Ooh, Larry gets an easy win here. He's arguing with his dad kind of about this. He thinks the masseuse gave him a happy ending, and he's making the motion. So, of course, Jean looks from across the store and sees him and storms off. It's an exact replica of the Tim Meadows. Oh, what's Tim Meadows' character's name? I should fucking, if I'm being Mr. Super Nicest guy on the planet here. Hal. Okay, I'm not going to remember that either. Sorry, Tim Meadows. And she storms off. And again, it's like, first of all, Larry just went through like a 30-second apology with sign language with her, and she was very much like, cool, don't worry about it. Now she spots him doing this, and Larry it's just a dumb misunderstanding. He didn't mean anything, and she's rolling her eyes and storming out of the toaster store. It's a bit ridiculous. I got to give Larry the win there. 4 and 5. All right, it's coming back. LD, 4 and 5. Don't forget this season of Extra Enthusiasm is brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, hey, we're sorry about last season. 4 and 5. Something interesting just popped in my head, obviously. I wonder if instead of this formula that Larry always stuck to, that he was obsessed with, which when it worked, it was incredible. Based on this episode, I realized I think I just like it when he's just constantly turning around apologizing to people. Just constant. They don't have to all connect together. You don't have to pop a hamstring jumping up to tie them all together. I like when he's just, every step he takes is just a rake. It doesn't have to be a connected rake. Just a rake, smacks him in the head, and he has to apologize. I think that's a route I would have liked to see taken more. It's what I'm enjoying here in this episode. Anyway, enough of that bullshit. Oh, I do feel like I have to point out here, we get a scene with just Tim Meadows, Hal, and Leon. There's a lot of phone business going on, don't need to get into here. I wonder if this is the earliest instance we have of what I've started to yap about a lot, a scene without Larry David. Maybe it's a little more of a regular thing than I thought, so we'll see. Okay, the whole Larry Leon, where they kind of confront each other and realize that they both probably had each other's phones, is probably both inadvertently screwed each other over. It's really funny, but this is one of those things where I've seen this episode 1,000 times. I really like it, and it's never occurred to me. Because Larry's like, oh, did so-and-so call? And Leon's like, nope. And Leon's like, did so-and-so call? Larry's like, nope. Don't they know, even 2007 cell phone technology, like you could just pretty quickly look up to see your calls, whoever called you. I do remember phones were that advanced in 2007, so I guess we're just supposed to pretend that's impossible. Okay, I'm just had to point that out. Okay, the whole Kevin Farley and Larry David kind of date thing where they're awkward and everything is hilarious. It's endearing. It's charming. It's one of the few things in Curb, even when you love it, it has a sweetness to it that is really great. And of course, I missed it. Kevin Farley's brother is okay. I'm sorry. Let me look up his fucking name now. Is this my full-time job now? Looking up motherfuckers' names in this episode. Mike, and he's an exterminator, not a pool guy, whatever I said, which makes sense. if I recall, soon. So I just got to say, this whole him and Larry on a date thing is just fantastic. It's adorable. There, I said it. It's adorable. And Larry is still holding at 4 and 5. Holding at 4 and 5. Drama much? Me? Ooh, Larry gets an easy W here. Jean comes in. They're at the grease play now, whatever, waiting for it to start. She comes in and is yelling at him because she thinks Larry was insulting to her husband over the phone, but it was, of course, we know it was Leon because of the phone mix-up. So Larry gets a win there just for not even knowing what the fuck is going on. So, which is perfect for his fucking age. So way to go, Larry. 5 and 5. Damn, nice. Tell you what else is nice is this season's Xmas Enthusiasm sponsor, Cheetos. Cheetos. Hey, we're sorry about last season. Okay, they're wrapping up their date. Again, I have to say, this was fantastic. They should have found ways to keep just Kevin Farley in the mix. I don't have him around as Larry's helper in whatever way. He's just always showing up. He can be like that guy in Murphy Brown or whatever. He was just fantastic. But and I also have to say, because long story short, you've seen the episode. He thinks the woman's dog is a rat because everyone shouting rat. He steps on it. I presume he kills it. Sorry, dog. But he and Larry standing at the door, and he's like, gee, I'm sorry what happened to the dog. And Larry's like, hey, that's your training. That's your training kicking in. Fantastic. All time, I would say top 10. I would say top 5. That's just an all-time top 10. Not just line, but his delivery is perfect. And I'm already floating because I love the scene with them. I want more of them. Anyway, we'll see. There's only a minute or two left in the episode. We'll see if he stays at 500 for the episode. All right, that's it for the scoring. Larry goes 500. He goes 5 and 5 for the episode. That takes him up to 47 and 42 for the season. Well done, Larry. Interesting episode. I love this episode. It's a great episode in that it's a nice standalone episode. It doesn't have any real connection to any episode, any overarching arc. If that's the thing. I love that even the part that is the most ridiculous, eye rolling. The toast, I just love toast, so I even don't mind that to the point that I love it because it gives me a reason to talk about toast and my love of toast and the fact that I'm about to change / revolutionize the entire toast game, and I'm letting you guys in on that early. You're welcome. Plus, again, surprise, Kevin Farley. Again, I've seen this 1,000 times, and I've always loved him. But now I'm thinking, is this a top 10 guest star role on Curb? It's almost a little understated until he does a thing where he stomps on the dog. But maybe I'll have to start thinking of a list, like the top. I'm sure there are lists. Maybe I'll consult. But anyway, so yeah, Larry goes 5 and 5 for the rat dog. Well done, Larry. Don't forget this season of XMAS Enthusiasm is brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos. Hey, we're sorry about last season. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.